Hey everybody, welcome to Creating Scenery for Microsoft Flight Simulator and the Learning Artist, because both of what I'm going to talk about today is applicable to both. If you're making textures and things like that, or setting up a composition for an oil painting or acrylic painting, whatever you're doing. You guys know that I am very much pro open source software. I try to use open source software as much as possible. However, I needed to get an extra tool that I needed for manipulating photos, more so for my oil painting. So I can set up compositions and things like that. Like, basically, I'm going to use this term very loosely. I'm going to come up with a new term for it later on, but photoshopping, okay? Let me tell you, I am not a fan of Adobe as a corporation. They might have good products and things like that, but Adobe has come out in the past few weeks telling their users to sign this new terms of agreement, or terms of subscription, or whatever it is, where they can, and you don't have any choice but to agree to the TOA, terms of agreement. Yeah. You don't have any choice but to agree, and if you disagree, you can't use their software. All right. You guys know that Adobe has moved over to a subscription based for all of their software, and that means that you're going to pay it forever. Okay. You can't just pay, $400 or $500 and be done with it, and then use that version until you upgrade yourself. Okay, now you have to have a monthly subscription. If you want to cancel that subscription, good luck, because they make it totally almost impossible to do it. All right, but anyway, the big thing with their new terms of agreement is that when you agree, you don't see it in the fine print, but they get to use your creative work without you even knowing it. Even though that your work is copyrighted, they have written in their terms of agreement that they can use that. They get part ownership of anything that you create with Adobe software. Okay, I'm not going to get into the details, but that's the crux of it. They get part ownership, and they can take your creative product and they can use it for whatever they want to. Even if you have your stuff, I mean, you could sell your stuff and all that kind of stuff, but they can still use it. All right, so I am totally steering away from anything Adobe. They're a horrible corporation. All right, but Krita wasn't doing everything that I wanted. Okay, especially with doing more photo stuff. I still use Krita every day for a lot of graphics stuff, but I needed some extra tools. And what I purchased, and yes, it's not open source, what I purchased is Affinity Photo. Okay, I think right now they're having a half off sale, half price sale. There's no subscriptions, nothing like that, but you can get Affinity Photo, which does everything. Remember when I said Krita does like 90% of what Photoshop did? Okay, Affinity does 100%. Okay, if not even better. All right, but I have purchased that. I think they're having a half price sale now, and you can get it for $35. all right, and it's yours to use forever, okay, until you choose to upgrade it yourself. All right, I think the current version right now is 2.5. All right, so I have Affinity, and I am going to do, the more and more I learn about it, I just like every software that you get, you have a learning curve. All right, so I'm going to be spending a lot of time learning how to use Affinity for photo stuff. All right, and then I'm gonna make some videos about that. I mean, there's tons of videos. You can go to Affinity's page and watch all their tutorials and stuff. And there's Affinity Revolution. I think she has a channel that you can get a bunch of stuff. But I think you're gonna really like Affinity, and it's worth 35 bucks when you consider Photoshop costs like 250 bucks. All right, well, actually it used to. Now you have a subscription, all right, which we won't get into. But some of the things I do, okay, for instance, now I'm just gonna kind of show you a little bit. We're gonna go over to here to File, and we're gonna go Place, and I'm gonna pick a photo. Here's a scene of the Serengeti, and I'm going to kind of drag that in here. I'm going to make it big. I'm going to get rid of that. And we're going to kind of move in this area. All right. So I got a background screen of the Serengeti. All right. Now I'm going to File, Place, and I'm going to open up this picture of a cheetah that I took at the Columbus Zoo, and I'm gonna insert that here. I'm not going to be worrying about scale or anything like that for this video. All right, just kind of showing you some of the cool things. I do a lot of clipping, a lot of masking and stuff, and you know, things with hard lines are pretty easy to mask and follow around, clip out, selection, whatever you want. In Krita, it's using the selection tool, and then you create a boundary and you create a mask, and you can copy and paste and all that kind of stuff. But what we're going to do here is this cheetah, which has fur. All right, I'm going to come over here to the selection tool, and I'm going to bump up using the bracket here. I'm going to increase the size of my cursor. All right, now what I'm going to do is I want that a little bigger. Let's come up here so it's a little bigger, so I have a pretty good. All right, so I'm going to paint this cheetah, and notice that Affinity is doing its best to select the object that I'm working for. Now I'm not going to do the whole cheetah, okay? I don't want to take all of your time, but we're going to select some basic components of this cheetah. Now notice that it's grabbing that wall that's behind the cheetah because they're similar in color. All right, so we're just going to drag this, and if you paint, you're just kind of painting like this, and you can do this kind of stuff. All right, so I got some basic form of the cheetah. I'm missing a spot, so I'll get the spot there. All right, and I think I'm missing her ear. There we go, her other ear. All right, so I've painted a selection, okay, and Affinity has tried to find the boundaries of that object, right? Okay, but there's some other tools like right here. I've gotten into the wall, so I'm going to hit the magnifying tool. You don't see it, it's underneath me. All right, and then I'm going to let right drag with the zoom tool selected. Like I said, it's right below me. If I turn me off, let's see here, there, it's right there, that one right there. All right, I'm not sure you guys really need to see me anyway. I'm so ugly. All right, so come back up here to the selection tool. All right, and I'm going to make my cursor smaller. Okay, so now I have a 14-point cursor. Now see this stone right here got selected when I was painting the with the selection tool. But if I come over here and I subtract, hit this button over here, subtract, and this is add. And if I come in here, okay, I need to make my cursor a little bigger than that. Okay. If I come in here and paint, notice how it got rid of this rock. All right, but I need to add some of that fur back in, so I'm going to hit the add. I'm going to kind of hit this spot, you know, just kind of fine tune it a little bit, and it starts to fill in some of the spots like that I missed, or Affinity didn't know what to do because it was so close to the wall or whatever. Okay, so you can come in here and you can add to your selection using this add portion. All right, but I want to deselect this mortar that's going around the stone, so I'm going to go subtract. I'm going to come over here and click there until that goes away. All right, so it's doing pretty good automatically. All right, now we're going to come down here and we're going to come down to this area, because you can see right between her stomach and her leg, this is part of the background, right? Okay, so if I come down here to the magnification tool and kind of zoom in there, and then come back up to my selection tool, I can come over here and I hit the subtract, and I can paint this area, and notice that it is removing this area from this selection mask. Okay, now what you would do, you would use this tool for is, like if I wanted to get rid of this background and put her on this Serengeti, right? Even though it's the colors aren't perfect. Okay, I'm just showing you an example. Okay, well, she's missing a spot, so I'm going to go back to my select tool, go to add, and we're going to add in her black spot there. Okay, now notice we have a lot of hairs coming outside. All right, so if we go back to our tool and we come over here, and let me zoom in here real quick. If I zoom in, all right, now I'm going to come back to my select tool, and I'm going to come over here to refine. I get this new menu, refine selection. I'm going to make sure that matte is selected in this case, and I'm simply notice the background shows up red. If you see in this preview over here, okay, the red means that is masked away. Okay, the cat is the object, but you can use the refine tool, and you can paint with the refine tool those areas where there's hair like this. Okay, and let's come over here and see if we can refine some of this hair over here, some of her fur. And I usually do this along the edges of any wildlife that I'm going to paint. Okay, all right, so we add, we're telling Affinity, work on this a little bit and make it a little bit more jagged. Okay, so it's not a bad clip. All right, and then when you're done, you hit apply, and notice how that shape automatically changes around the hair. Okay, so let's zoom back out. I'm still getting used to Affinity, because you got to remember, I've been using Krita for all this time. All right, and then you can come up here, like I got part of her head up here. Her head actually stops right here, so I got part of the stone. So let's go back to the selection tool, and let's subtract this stone, and you can fine tune it as much as you want to. Okay, so now it's maybe a little too far, but that's okay. I'm just showing you some things. So let's add, we got part of her ear here, so let's add a little bit more of her ear. Okay, And then I got missing part of her face. So that needs to come out here. But you get the picture, right? I hope. All right. What am I subtracting? No, I'm adding. So we're going to get some more of her fur here. All right. Then I would go in and use that refine tool and try to get more of these little hairs that are out. Now you can use this for your anything that you're doing, creating textures for Microsoft Flight Simulator as well. Okay. All right. Now that we have, let's say we have the mask the way that we want it. All right. Then you're going to come over here to the bottom of the layers texture right here. And you're going to hit this mask layer. And it's going to take that selection that you just created. And it's going to create a mask layer. Okay. And now we see our cat with the Serengeti in the background. And the background of that image that I'm using has now gone away. All right. Now, and if you look down here between her tummy and her leg, I got the background down here. Okay. Now, I would have, if I was doing this for real use, I would have been more fine tuning around the hair and the whiskers and things like that. So Affinity would know what I wanted to mask, if that makes sense, right? But hey, I might do some more videos about Affinity here in the future. I've done a bunch of in terms of making textures for Flight Simulator. Okay, so I'll add those as I put them in. I know I have. It's like I've been non-existent for a while, but I am trying really hard to get ready for an art show that's coming up, and I just have to get a whole bunch of stuff done. So anyway. If you haven't, for 35 bucks, the sale's going on now. I don't know how long it'll be. It'll probably be there for a while, but you can get Affinity Photo 2 for 35 bucks, okay? And I think you're going to really like it. I'm going to show you how to use text and things like that as well for Microsoft Flight Simulator. But I'll also be doing this for showing you how to do color correction. Like if you notice that the Serengeti is really kind of a golden and she's kind of a light. She's kind of desaturated because it was a cloudy day that I took this picture at the zoo. So we're going to play with Affinity and do some color correction to try to get the lighting of the background with her, you know, looking good or whatever. Okay, of course, when I'm oil painting, I'll make the adjustments with my eye. All right, not with the software. I'll do it with paints and my brushes. All right. Hey, but I hope you find. And by the way, this is my 300th video, and I have now gotten to that 2,500 subscribers plateau, which is awesome. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. Share it. Please subscribe if you haven't, and if you feel inclined for what I do here, making these tutorials and things like that, buymeacoffee.com/myphysicalworld. And thanks for you guys that have been faithful and sticking around and not dropping your subscriptions and stuff. I know I'm in the flux phase where I'm losing subscriptions and getting some and things like that, because I just haven't had really time to get out a lot of videos and tutorials and stuff. But after this art show this fall, I'm going to get back into it. We're going to be getting ready for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. So please stick around, and thank you for your loyalty and your faithfulness, and I will see you guys in the next video. See you later.